is just as important to get to is Jaylen Brown. Now, I've made news over the last few days about Jaylen Brown because getting back to the playoffs in the Eastern Conference where the Boston Celtics advanced to the NBA Finals after beating the Indiana Pacers, let's call it what it is. Jaylen Brown was sensational, and he was named Series MVP, taking home the Larry Bird Trophy, and he deserved it. However, Brown didn't think he was good enough to take home the award with teammate Jason Tatum, averaging 30 points and 10 rebounds. Wanted to share the wealth to some degree. Here's what I wanted to say about Jaylen Brown, because making news the other day, I talked about on First Take how somebody texted me and talked about how he's not very well liked. And because he's not very well liked, that factors into his lack of marketability, the potential reason for him not making the All NBA team, that kind of stuff. And so you got people that were in an uproar. I was taken aback because Isaiah Thomas, who's known me for 30 years, decides to go on X rather than call me to talk about defending the character of Jaylen Brown and Stephen A. Before you slander him, blah, 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 reveal your sources. I felt that was real out of pocket by Isaiah Thomas. Number one, because you know me. Number two, I'm not going to reveal my sources. Number three, I'm right, because I wasn't saying it about Jaylen Brown. I don't feel that way about Jaylen Brown. And I know a lot of people got love for him. I was saying there were others that say that about him, and it's contributed to a lack of marketability. And Isaiah went on to say he's very, very marketable in that same tweet on X that he never called me about. And obviously Jaylen Brown followed up, and he was talking about reveal your source, Stephen. No, I'm not going to do that. You know better. But for those who would doubt the veracity of my words, and see, this is not a Kyrie situation, because again, at some point with Kyrie and myself, it got personal, which is something that I openly confess to publicly. He knows why. You'll never know why, because I'll never tell. He knows why I got personal. But again, not absolving myself from that in any way. In the case of Jaylen Brown, that's not applicable here. There was nothing personal going on. There's been nothing personal going on. I've known Jaylen Brown for years, got nothing but love for him. But the facts are the facts. And I think it's something that's worth being noted, because you simply can't get around it. So why even try? We have to take that into consideration. What upset everybody was my quote, because we were asking the question as to whether or not he was underrated on First Take. And I got a text message in the middle of that segment where it said, he's not underrated. He's just not liked because of his, quote, I am better than you attitude, end quote. He knows it, same reason he's not marketable. And that's what had everybody in an uproar, pissed off at me reading that text. I cover the league. I saw some radio host or whatever going off talking about I'm not a reporter, and they compared me to a Rachel Maddow or whatever. I'm not insulted by what that pundit said, because theoretically speaking, he has a point and he's right. What he's missing is that when you sit in a chair like mine, when we're the #1 show for 12 years and counting, every week, every month, every year for 12 consecutive years, we're the standard. So literally sitting at my desk, I got people texting me with information every single segment of every single show. He left out that part, but I understand. That's not clickbait material, so why tell that truth? I get it. But here's the deal about Jaylen Brown, for me to validate my point. And one of the reasons I got upset is everybody's acting like I said an insulting word. I quoted somebody saying something, but I don't feel that way about Jaylen Brown. I voted Jaylen Brown on my All-NBA third team, just so everybody knows. Okay? I voted him on my All-NBA third team. So my words back up. My vote backs up what my words said. But here's the point that nobody has asked. Let me read something to y'all. Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jokic and Murray, Steph and Clay, and Dre, by the way, Luka and Kyrie, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Zion Williamson and C.J. McCollum, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Ladies and gentlemen, those are teammates. Do you know that all of those dudes have shoe deals and some have signature shoes? Do you know that Jaylen Brown has neither? His contract ended with Adidas a while ago. He doesn't have another sneaker deal. You see that swoosh being covered on his sneaker? The Nike swoosh, you see that? Because he doesn't want to be seen with that. See, I'm giving you facts. Now, does he deserve a sneaker deal? Yes, he does. It doesn't strike y'all as a tad bit odd that the guy that signed for over $300 million, that's on the Boston Celtics, that is considered one of the best players in the NBA, doesn't have a sneaker deal when everybody and their mother seems to have a sneaker deal? That don't strike y'all as a tad bit odd? Isaiah, where's the marketability? Where's that? Where's the commercials? Where's the endorsement deals? The brother can play. He's been to 6 conference finals. He's now going to his 2nd NBA finals appearance. He wears a Boston Celtics uniform. Where's the marketability? You would think he'd be more marketable. Jason Tatum certainly has commercials. Jason Tatum certainly has a sneaker deal. Jason Tatum certainly has all of these other things going for him. Where's it for Jaylen Brown? I'm not saying it's right. He deserves all of that. But what I will tell you is, to my understanding, he doesn't have a sneaker deal. And he's a really good guy. So where's the marketing? When people say you're not liked, they're not talking about you being disliked. They're talking about you not being someone that others want to market. That's the definition in business sometimes of marketability or a lack thereof. People speculate about this stuff with Jaylen Brown all the time. We don't know. All we know is that his talents and his character demand that he gets more than he's gotten. Why not? Those are questions for everybody else to answer. I don't know. All I know is the text that I received that was confirmed by 3 or 4 people. That's all I know. And by the way, saying somebody's not liked is not slander. I think Isaiah Thomas is a great man who's accomplished great things. I can assure you he's not liked by everybody. That's not slanderous. It really isn't. A lot of stuff to get into in our next segment. And I definitely will do